This year, I have 3 out of my 5 homeschool kids that are in high school, which is crazy town. We've been homeschooling since the beginning. This is our final year homeschooling for my oldest, and I am excited for this year. Now, this year feels unique to me since I have 3 that are in high school. So I already did a video about our family subjects, and since I have so many kids that are high school age, we're actually doing a lot of things together as a family. We love family style learning in our house. And my kids do still have some like individual subjects or interests that they are doing. But if you haven't already watched that video, that might be a good place to start. Watch that video first, come back and watch this one, because a lot of the things that we are doing this year are in that family subject video. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Jess from the blog siloandsage.com. I've got 5 kids, and this year they are 12th grade, 10th grade, 9th grade, 7th grade, and 3rd grade. So I want to go over some of the things that my high schoolers are going to be doing this year, kind of some of their interest-led learning, some of the specific curriculum and resources that they are using, because I know that going into the high school years can feel overwhelming as a homeschool mom. It can feel like a lot. So if you are just starting in the homeschool, in the high school years, it can be good to watch some things that other people are doing to give you an idea of how to do it. Now, something important to know is that I don't approach high school in a very traditional way. We don't do a lot of like the textbooky curriculum that you find out there. I really have taken an interest-led approach to all of our learning, but even in the high school years, and really tailored it to my kids' interests and their future and kind of like their future plans and the things that they want to do. And we have really a literature-based approach to learning. So that means we don't do a lot of worksheets. We don't do a lot of textbooks. We do a lot of books. And it helps that my oldest 2 are very, very voracious readers. They love to read. My 3rd likes to read, but some of the like heavier books are probably leaning toward my 10th and 12th grader. And then my 9th grader doesn't read quite as like heavy of books. So some of those might be books that we read together. Might do audiobooks for some of those things, but we are very literature based in our learning. And I think that's really important for you to know, because I know a lot of homeschoolers do a lot of traditional curriculum, and that's just not our jam. It's not what we do. And I'm not opposed to it ever. It just has not been something that we've needed. And I really have based what we need on my kids and their interests and what they're doing in the future. So that really shows in what we've chosen to do. So I'm going to tell you first about my 12th grader. Now, some of these things overlap. So some of the things that my 12th grader does, my 10th grader also is doing, or all of them are doing. So I'll kind of get into that, but I want to just kind of go kid by kid, since there's 3 of them in 3 different grades, and kind of explain some of their individual subjects. Now, history, a lot of our language arts, our art study, our Bible, and some of the science. I talked about that a little bit in our family subject video. So if you're looking for that, that's where that is. If you're like, wait, you're missing this, it's probably in that video. So a lot of the things that we do integrate with each other. So our history and our science, we like to integrate a lot of language arts. Within that, our art and language arts integrate. We just like to integrate things together, because I think that's just how we learn, and it's not so compartmentalized into subjects. So that's good to know if you didn't know that about me already. If you didn't watch that family subject video. and didn't learn that there. So my oldest is a senior this year, 12th grade. He has been homeschooled the whole time, and he does not plan at this time to go to college. He is instead doing an alternative program that is focused on writing and business, and I will probably talk more about that in the future. But for now, I will tell you about what he is doing this year that's kind of like a bridge from what he was doing to what he's planning to do in the future. So he has been part of a program called Young Writers Workshop. I've probably talked about it in previous videos, but it's been wonderful for us. It's a Christian program. They are all about developing writers, and it's been a really wonderful. One year he did the academic program. Most of the time he's been doing the self-paced program. They have a brand new program. This is their first year they're doing it, and it is called the Young Writers Honors Academy. It's kind of designed to be kind of the in-between from their main Young Writers Workshop to their kind of college alternative program that he's planning to be part of. So this is also great as like a tester of like, do you really want to be in that college alternative program? This will be a good taste, and it focuses a lot on short stories and has a lot of accountability and live sessions, and he's very excited about it. I don't believe, as of recording, I don't believe their enrollment is open anymore, but it's definitely something to get on the list. I will leave a link below that I'm assuming their program is going to expand for next year. This year they capped it at 30. Maybe it'll get bigger. I don't know what their plan is, I guess, for that, but I'm very excited about it for him. I think it'll be really great, and this is something he wants to pursue a career in writing, so this is like the perfect thing for him, and it's been a really wonderful program. So he's going to be doing that. He's also going to be doing a couple in-person things. He is going to be doing some in-person speech and debate classes. There's a local speech and debate team that like competes. It's a national program, but there's local kids who do it, and he knows a lot of kids do it, but the pace of the program and the competition is a lot. And our family, we do a lot of sports. My oldest, he does cross country and track and basketball, and it would be a lot to add in competing for speech and debate. So he had been talking with some of his friends, and his friends said, our friend's mom is actually teaching some speech and debate classes. So he's going to be taking those, so they're at like a local church, and it's not like through a co-op, but just some moms and teachers teach at this local church. They teach homeschool classes. And so he's going to be doing those one day a week. And it's for sure a first semester class. I'm not sure if there's some talk of it developing into second semester also. We'll see how that goes. But he's really excited to be learning kind of the basics of speech and debate. And I'm excited that we don't have to travel around competing. So I know a lot of people who do it and love it, but just with our other obligations, it is not a good fit for us. So that is one thing he'll be doing in person. I don't have to do anything for that, which is great. He could drive himself there, and his brother too. He's also going to be doing a 6-week career prep course, also a local in-person class that's actually it was put together by a local homeschool mom, but it's taught by someone in like the Department of Workforce Development, I think. I did not even know that was a thing, but I guess it is. But they're going to be teaching things like how to write a resume, how to participate in an interview. They're going to be doing some kind of reverse interviewing, prepare a presentation. Again, I'm not doing anything for that. So it's just a 6-week course. But I think it is very appropriate for his age. And, he's really excited about it, and to learn how to write a resume and all those things, interview, all that. I mentioned briefly in my family subject video that my kids would be doing chemistry. Now, let me see. I actually think I might have done a previous video that said we were going to be doing chemistry. I think I did. I don't know. And then we never did it because we chose something else, and it worked out very well because I decided in the end to wait until all 3 of my kids were in high school so they could all do chemistry together. So that is our plan this year, and I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to work out very well. We chose to do chemistry in the kitchen. This is from Guest Hollow. It's a high school chemistry, but it is literature based. So there's living books. There are hands-on experiments, but they're not like crazy intense. There's not a lot of math, but it's actual like practical chemistry things. Now, this makes sense for us for a lot of reasons. Number one, my older kids, I think this is a good fit for their future. Actually, all three of my older kids, I think this is a really good fit for their future plans. I don't know for sure if my other two high schoolers at this point, if they plan to go to college. That's not 100% one way or another, but I think this fits very well with their goals and their plans, and their interests, and I'm excited to do it. So because it's a very literature based, and a lot of what we do is literature based, we are going to be kind of like picking and choosing the books that we do. And then we're actually going to be meeting every other week with some other families to do some of the experiments, because that's just more fun. So it's kind of like a co-op, but not really. And the other families can kind of choose if they want to be doing this curriculum or if they want to be doing something else. And we'll just be doing the experiments together. And then our younger kids will just be doing other experiments while the older kids are. So I think it's going to work out great for us. And I'm excited that all three of my kids get to do it together. And that has worked out really well. So it's kind of a family subject, but really the focus is on my older kids doing this for their high school credit. So works great as a lab science, not as intense as some other chemistry programs, and still kind of like fits our values. So when it comes to math, all of my kids will be doing math, and my 12th grader will be doing math. Last year, I kind of decided I wasn't really going to like publicly talk about what math programs specifically my kids were doing, because I just feel like it's hard when your kids are not exactly on the track that everybody else thinks they should be on, or if they're like ahead or behind. And I don't know, it feels like the one subject that feels a little more personal to share, like, because it's a little bit more leveled than some of the other things that we do. And I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to respect their privacy in that. And so I do have a list of some of the high school math programs that we have done and we have enjoyed, and I will list those out, or I have them listed out on my curriculum recommendations pages. Now, I have not updated that yet for this year. I will probably in the next few weeks, but you can head over to my website. I will put the link below. I think it's silencesage.com/curriculum-recs, RECS, like recommendations. So my kids are doing math in high school. I just have chosen not to talk about it. That's not really my strength. I am not the person you want to go to ask what high school math program to use, or, you know, there are lots of other YouTubers that can direct you and are better equipped for that. But I just feel like it's not something that I want to share. So they are doing math, but which one is a surprise to you. One of the other things he is working on, my 12th grader this year, is he's doing a world religions study. And this is just something that I'm kind of putting together. We're not following a formal curriculum. We're using a few books and resources for this. So we have the World Religions and Cults. There are 3 volumes of this. I got this from Master Books. I will link it. It just kind of like goes through different world religions. A couple other books. The Universe Next Door, Basic Worldview Catalog, kind of goes through different philosophies: theism, deism, naturalism, Marxism, nihilism, existentialism, all these things. So kind of gives like a broad overview of these kind of like philosophy, religion type things. So what's the difference? A look at 20 worldviews, faiths, and religion and how they compare to Christianity. The Case for Christ. This is just such a good book. And there's also a movie for this that I recently found out about that I don't know, I haven't seen it, but if you've seen it, comment below and tell me about it. But it looked really good. So I want to look into it and see if it would be a good movie to watch with my older kids and kind of tie into some of this stuff. But I think it's really good for kids when they go out into the world to be able to defend their faith and to choose it for themselves and to be able to say kind of like the why behind it. So I think I have a couple other books, but these are kind of the main ones. And it'll be just kind of a self-study based on around these books. He'll also be doing some kind of basic, some business basics and entrepreneurship. Again, not a formal curriculum, but just something that I'm putting together. I do have some of the resources in the books that we've used or that we have listed on my website. I'll link that below. You can find all of these links. Actually, I put together a blog post with all of our curriculum resources for this year. Those will all be linked in that blog post. So I'll put that below. But yeah, it's part of what he'll be doing next year with his program is building a business or kind of like figuring out what's going to fund me as I pursue writing. And so that's kind of where we're starting this year is like, okay, what kind of business could you start and what will that look like, and kind of building like a business plan. And because I think it's good, even if he doesn't end up like owning his own business or running his own business for the rest of his life, I think it's always a good skill to have to kind of have that entrepreneurial bent. That's just me and my personality. I think being your own boss is better. I don't want somebody else to be the boss for me in anything. So I really just think it's good in this day and age to have something you can have for yourself, even if it's like a side hustle and not your full-time thing. So that's kind of where we're going with that. All right, my 10th grader, it's actually already started. He's doing a graphic design course through Compass Classroom. We did some self-paced courses last year through Compass Classroom, kind of like casually. And this came into my email and I thought this is perfect for him. He really has a strong interest in like graphic design and art and kind of like how to take his art and maybe like digitize it for like illustrations and things. And yeah, this is a live class. So it's not self-paced. It is live with an instructor and, you know, they're on like a Zoom call and they have like homework and things. This is the first time he's ever done a class like this. So it has been kind of a learning curve for us because he just hasn't done this sort of class. And yeah, but he is really enjoying it. I don't have like a full review because we haven't gone through the full semester yet, but I'm really excited for him. I think it's already been a really great class. And he's learning tools like Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator and Adobe InDesign, which are really great programs. If you want to go into graphic design, that's kind of what you need to know. So yeah, I think it'll be a really great semester for him with that. And then in the second semester, I'm looking into, but have not decided, I came across Film School for Teens. And they have a bunch of different classes. They also had some graphic design classes, and I was kind of like going back and forth between the live class and that, because these are self-paced classes, but they also have classes on like photography and filmmaking and doing YouTube, which are all things he's interested in. So I haven't fully decided, or we haven't fully decided what he's going to be doing, but I'm looking into some of those classes for the second semester. They're self-paced. We'll see how it goes with that, what we end up doing. But I think they kind of will go with his interests. And, you know, he's interested in all of those things. So we'll see how that goes. He's also doing chemistry from Guest Hollow. He is doing writing. Let's see, the writing that we're doing. So he is going to be probably using haven't fully decided yet, either some of the self-paced courses through Compass Classroom or the Young Writers Workshop that I was talking about earlier. They have a lot of self-paced things in there, and they have a lot of like videos and things. So he might kind of be doing a combination of those things. Then I also have this Read, Think, Write program that's in my shop. And this is like integrating all the, you know, the subjects that we're doing, like history and science, we can take that into the Read, Think, Write program, integrate that to learn how to do things like research papers or projects or things like that. And then the Story Forge that I talked about in my family subject video, creative writing, all those things, we're going to piece that all together for his language arts for this year. So he'll be doing a lot of writing. He also has a lot of interest in things like graphic novel, like making graphic novels and writing children's stories and illustrating them. So we're going to be tying that into his studies this year and kind of the things that he's interested in and kind of putting that into place and putting that into practice. And so he's doing a lot of art with that, with the graphic design and his own art. He is huge into art, so he's always drawing, and it's just a big part of his kind of how we're designing his homeschool for high school revolves a lot around art. So I talked a lot about the art we're doing as a family in my family subject video, but he's going to be doing a lot individually, just his own like self-study and I don't know. We haven't decided if we're going to like find any online programs that might go deeper into art study, but he does a lot. Like we have a lot of books and tutorials and things that he uses on his own. All right, so he's also doing a lot of similar things to my oldest, the speech and debate classes, the career prep course. He's going to be doing those too. Those are in person. And then he will also be doing math that I will not be sharing here, but he will be doing some math. All right, now we're going to move on to my 9th grader. My 9th grader is a very like hands-on learner. He loves like building and technical type, not like technical like computers, but like technical like electricity. Is that technical? I don't know. Like things having to do with like building and construction and all of that kind of stuff. So he is working with my husband to fix our deck, and he's been working really closely with him and learning a lot of skills. So he's basically doing a woodshop class, not a formal class. It's just something that we've put together that he's working on just because all the skills that he's learned through working on our deck are basically the skills you'd learn in a woodshop class. So so that is part of his homeschool year. He's very into music. He plays drums, he's a very good drummer, and he's learning guitar. And so this, again, not a formal class that he's taking, but something that he works very hard on and does a lot. And he's also like learning how to play along with the worship team, how to like use the in-ear things that have like the metronome and all the technical parts of like the sound and everything at our church. So he's learning a lot of those things. So that is part of his homeschool year. He's doing the chemistry in the kitchen that the other boys are doing. And he's also doing math, which again, I'm not going to share here. But something that I think is important for all my boys is they have all done or will do the consumer math from not consumed, which I guess is considered, for some people, they consider that like an elective math, but it's really practical math. And I do think that's a really important one to do, to learn how to like balance a checkbook, write a check, do your taxes, all these things. That is covered in that. So in addition to like traditional math, my kids all have done or will do that one. So he hasn't done that yet. So he will be doing that at some point. Whether that ends up being this year or not, I'm not totally sure. But will be doing that. The other thing that he will be doing that I didn't actually bring out is I put together a research and note-taking guide that has different like printables and different things to help your kids learn how to take notes and do research. And it's kind of geared a little bit like elementary and middle school, but it's very easily adaptable, and that's a skill that he is still working on. So probably going to bring in some of those things, and there's part of that within the Read, Think, Write language arts program that I have that he is also going to be doing, because Read, Think, Write has like a fiction and a nonfiction kind of track within that, and so I will be pulling especially some nonfiction to like just teach the basics of, you know, a lot of the with my younger kids. Like this is a middle and a high school program, so my Seventh grader will be using this too, but just the, research and note taking and research papers. And even if kids don't go to college, I think it's a really important skill to at least learn the basics of, even if, it's very likely this child of mine might go into the trades or something, but definitely learning how to write is a really, really important skill that I value very highly. So that will be part of what he is doing this year with the Read, Think, Write program. Now, all of my high schoolers, we're going to be reading a lot of books this year, and I don't have like specific lists necessarily for all of them. Now, a lot of these books come from like our history that we're doing this year that I talked about in our family subject video, our morning time guide, also in that video. Just like the different things that I want them to be thinking about and learning about. Like there's this book called Counterculture, Following Christ in an Anti-Christian Age. I don't have a specific, like, you're going to read this first semester or you're going to read the second semester. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. But I have a lot of books on our list through the different programs that we're doing, like the curriculum resources, or just like books that I think are interesting, or books that tie in together. Like this book, Suffering in Sunset, it is World War I in the art and life of Horace Pippin. So it actually ties into our morning time that is language arts and art and our history. So I don't know that this book is a lot. I don't know that I'm going to have any of them like read the whole thing. We might read pieces of it, but I think it's going to tie some of those things in together. So I just have a lot of different resources, and then some books that are from so there are different book lists within the History from Beautiful Feet books that we're doing. Our science, Chemistry in the Kitchen has a lot of books, and then our Stories of Home morning time guide. All of these, like, there's a lot of books. I'm not expecting that all of my kids are going to read all of these books, even my high schoolers. So some of them are going to kind of pick and choose. Some of them we're going to read together in our family learning time. But there's a lot of books that I have on the list in our Stories of Home morning time guide, which integrates like art and language arts together. But in the high school list, I have some books that I think will be particularly interesting to certain kids. Like my 10th grader who loves art, I think would love this book called Walking on Water, Reflections on Faith and Art. And I just think he'll love it because that's his interests. Whereas like my oldest son, he actually already read one of the books that was on that list because I was so excited for him to read it. It's called Adorning the Dark by Andrew Peterson, who wrote the Wingfeather Saga. But it's all about like faith and writing and bugs. I just knew that it would be something that he is really interested in. And so I did not wait for our school year to start. I said, hey, I think I'll love this book. And so that's kind of how we do things, is that I will say, hey, I think you'll love this book. And I love to encourage them to read the books that I have on a list or the books that are on our history list, but I don't always require all the books on the list. I give them a good like depth and understanding and like an overview of things, and then I'll say, hey, here are 3 books. You choose the book that you want to read. And yeah, so we have a lot of books. I have like a whole stack of books over here that's all like the history books that I picked out or that are part of our the Beautiful Feet books, U.S. and modern world history. I can't remember the title of it now, but the modern world history, whatever. It's from Beautiful Feet books. I've talked about it in our family subject video. But we'll just be doing a lot of reading, a lot of books. But a lot of our learning is interest-based, and that is important to me. So you can kind of see how a lot of the things that we do in our homeschool are really tailored to their future plans, their interests, and kind of like what they love to do and how they learn best. So my really hands-on learner is going to learn a lot through woodshop and music and, all of these things. And my artist is going to learn a lot through art, and my writer is going to learn a lot through writing. And we're going to do a lot of learning together, and I'm really excited for the school year. So if you didn't watch my family subject video, make sure you go and watch that. I will link it below, and I will link it up here for you. And I will see you soon in another video. I'm going to do another video about my 7th grader and my 3rd grader. So I will see you soon. In the meantime, keep cultivating your home. Bye, friends.